Hi everyone, Bifties here. Welcome to my Exile. I watched the live stream last night, and before I tell you what I really think about it, I'd like to say that I thought that Darth and Ghazi did an excellent job. I thought they ran it brilliantly, and their questions were good, and they got the answers that they wanted. Even more so, I thought that Jonathan and Mark were exactly the sort of developers that I think that we all want. They clearly care about the game, they know about the game, and they can both make decisions. It reminded me of the Diablo 4 streams where Blizzard would send out people that clearly didn't play the game. If they did play the game, they weren't very good at it. And even if they were good at it, and I'm not sure there was anyone, they weren't people that could make decisions. So I'm really, really impressed with Grinding Gear Games from that regard. And again, I thought Darth and Ghazi did a great job. The problem that I have with it is that this is the first big patch since launch. The game's been out for just over a month. They sold 1 million copies, and everything was about Endgame. Now, it makes me think of Twitter. I say Twitter rather than X, because I remember that they used to talk about that 99% of the tweets came from 1% of the tweeters. Is that the right word? And it feels like that a bit here. Just because it's the hardcore gamers that are generally streaming or putting videos out and being vocal about the game, it seems like they're getting what they need. But Grinding Gear Games sold 1 million copies of Path of Exile 2. That's 30 million revenue that's coming in. And I don't believe the majority of the people that have spent their money are hardcore gamers. I've put in about 200 hours, and that's an anomaly for me. I'm not working at the moment, so I've had the time to do it, and it's a great game. I absolutely love it. I've put my next video on hold just to make this one, and my next video will be all about why I think it's a great game and why I think everybody should play it. But for me, I was not impressed with Endgame. I made it to Endgame with my witch. I've cleared all my tier 1 maps, and I can't really see the point in just grinding. I'm too old to grind now. I don't have that in me. A game needs to be fun for me. Now, I've put in 200 hours, and I've enjoyed all of it. I think it's an excellent game. But most of my time has been in the campaign. I've got 2 characters into Crawl. I've got other characters partially way through the campaign, and I can't see that I'm all that excited for the end game. I watched what must have been nearly 2 hours of a live stream, and they barely touched upon anything that was of any interest to me. They were talking about fixing, does the armor work right? Does the reward percentage work? Does things that there were things that I couldn't even follow, that I didn't understand, and certainly because I didn't understand, I don't think it was something that I cared about. What I want is more game. Now, they did address the fact that it would be hard to bring out Act 4 without 5 and 6, and I thought that was really interesting. That made perfect sense to me. How are they going to do it if we're all playing 6 acts at the moment and they release 4? Well, what do we do? Play 2 of the acts again or something like that? So that made perfect sense. I'm not arguing about that. I'm not even asking for them to release all of the other 3 acts as soon as possible. I'm just disappointed that for the first big patch, especially it being only a month after launch, when a lot of people, probably the vast majority of people that bought the game, will still be playing the campaign. Now, we need more for us, not more for the 1%. Now, I could be wrong about this, and I would imagine there's going to be a lot of videos out there where everybody's going to be praising it. But that's going to be hardcore gamers. I'm a casual gamer. I like to just have fun. I want to enjoy it. And most of what they talked about didn't really seem to affect me. They did address the fact that just clearing tier 1 maps, etc., isn't fun. I would really like to be led. That's the sort of game I like. I liked the campaign. As soon as I get to endgame, it's like, what do? Decide to play it just for the sake of playing it, when I could actually go back and try and build a different class and learn from that. I didn't play Path of Exile 1, So I'm still learning the game. I'm 200 hours in, and I am very much still a beginner. I've got all the other classes to learn, and when they release the other 6 classes, I'm going to have them to learn as well. So I just wanted to put this out there. I'm a little bit disappointed, not in the game, not in the developers, and certainly not in Darth or Ghazi. It was just, I think that they need to relook at this. Where do they get all their money from? They've got 30 million coming in from 1 million sales. Most of these people, in my opinion, at a guess, because I don't have any data, but most of these people will be playing the campaign still. Have they addressed the changes to this game based on what they did for Path of Exile 1? I know that Path of Exile 1 was free. It is free to play. I think it may have been pay to play early access as well, the same as they've done Path of Exile 2. I could be wrong about that. I didn't play it. But most of the money that they probably made from Path of Exile 1 was from people buying supporter packs, and the major buyers of supporter packs will be hardcore gamers. They obviously gave away free copies of the game to anyone that spent $500 or more in supporter packs. Well, that seems like an awful lot to me. Probably doesn't seem like a lot to some of the hardcore gamers, but to casual gamers, none of us are going to be spending $500 on a game. So is it that they've prioritized the hardcore gamers because that's what they would have done in Path of Exile 1, and perhaps makes sense? But should they actually readdress this or look at this differently? Because the majority of the money that they've brought in the first month of the game, I think, is going to be from casual gamers trying it out. And I don't think they want to lose these gamers. So I'd really like to hear what you think of this. Maybe it's a bit controversial. I don't know. It's what I thought when I was watching the stream last night. I've slept on it, and I still feel the same way. I can't wait to play more of the game. I'm really looking forward to it. But Endgame does very little for me. So please, I'd love to hear all your comments. Tell me what you think. If you could also put in the comments, are you on playing the Endgame? Are you replaying the campaign? Are you still on your first playthrough of the campaign? I'd really like to hear it. Any feedback you can give is always welcome. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you want to hear more of my opinions, then please subscribe. And like I said, comments are always great. I'm Bifties. This is The Cave. Welcome to my exile. See you next time.